Hey there, this is Veronica with Oh Happy Plants. I am here to answer a couple of questions in this collaboration that we're doing with Sansy Light and Subtle Asian Lee here on Instagram. And this video will also be posted in my membership tutorial community. And it is a totally free membership. You do have to create an account. It functions a lot like Facebook. So if you want to go over there and join up, you can post things, you can ask questions. We have a normal Q&A that runs often. And as often as I can get to it, I'm running a business and I'm raising a child who's threatening to throw something at me right now. So here, come here, I'll show them. He is making origami right now. This apparently you can fill with water and throw at somebody. So why don't you fill this with water and throw it at one of my plants? Anyway, let me finish, okay, babe? So I have a question from one of the followers of Subtle Asian Lee, or maybe it's her. So if you have no humidifier and only a small pebble tray, are your plants going to survive the winter? Okay, this little guy right up here is great. 74% humidity. It's 68 degrees in here right now, and that is why I am too hot, because I have wool socks on. It was a 4-pack from Amazon for like, I don't know, 15 bucks or something like that. And I have one here. I have one over in my kitchen because I was curious, and I have plants in there too, of course. I've got one, where's the other one? One on my propagation shelf with all my Hoyas, just because, again, I was curious. And I've got one back in my bedroom where I have a shelf of plants just with a grow light, and it stays a lot cooler back there. So I was just kind of curious about the relative humidity and how that affects the growth. So first thing, I have had plants in my old job. I had plants in office buildings and lobbies and all sorts of places where the goal of the people who own the building is to keep it as dry as possible so humans will not die. But, you know, because like if it's 5% humidity and you're sitting at your desk, you're just going to be chugging water or getting dehydrated and getting headaches all the time, which is no fun. So they want to keep it quite dry, but they don't want it too dry for human life. And Silas, please don't distract me. I'll be done in a few, okay? Thanks. He's dancing. So with these office buildings, I have had plants like not super fussy plants, but I had some like calatheas and tenanthes and stuff like that. I had plants and marantas and things that people think are fussy. Fiddly figs like crazy in these super dry environments where they were like maybe 30% humidity in these buildings, even with AC blowing directly on them or heat blowing directly on them. If you water enough, your plants are going to be okay. If you have a very small pebble tray, that's great. You know, that'll raise the relative humidity. But this right back here, it is 68%, wait, no, 75% humidity right now. Sorry, I had to look again. Because of this, let me just show you. Plants, 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 giant plants. Right over there, I've got a couple of alocasias that guttate like crazy. I've got them on stera. You can kind of see them back here. So all of these plants have stomata all over the undersides of their leaves, and they are constantly respirating. They are constantly breathing, you know, like if they had lungs, that's what they would be doing, but instead it's just this whole process. So they're constantly shedding moisture through their stomata, just like we shed moisture through our mouth when we breathe. And so as far as your humidity in your home in the winter, don't freak out. If you have really dry heat, you can go ahead and put a couple of pebble trays around, but I would recommend just spending 15 bucks and getting a couple of those little moisture thingies. That's the wrong word. You know, the things that read the humidity in the house. I'm blanking on the name. I would get a couple of those and just put them around in your house and see what happens. See what you come up with, because I bet it is probably a little bit moisture, people hate that word, sorry, a little bit more wet in your house than you think it is. I know that my house actually has gotten damper since it is winter, and the reason for that is because I keep it a little bit cooler in here, but I also, like, I take showers, which raises the humidity. I don't leave the windows open. When I open up the windows in the wintertime, I notice that the humidity drops by like maybe 10%, like automatically. And so it's antics. Sorry. It's just interesting to kind of watch that and watch the changing temperatures, and the airflow definitely affect that, but the heater hasn't been affecting that much. And so just get your measurement devices in place and use that as a little more information. And then also just keep in mind that I had thousands of houseplants in these buildings that are kept at like 30 to 40% humidity, no more than that. They're kept quite low, and all of the plants did absolutely fine. Humidity was never an issue. Underwatering is a bigger issue with houseplants that I see than humidity, so just keep that in mind. I will answer a couple more questions here, and then we will go and have some soup for dinner because it's fall and it's soup season. Bye, guys.